be on commentary tonight. It was such an open end to the game, but overall a much better second half performance from Manchester United, with the substitutes making the difference. It does put them, as you can see now, in the top 8 of the Europa League phase table, ahead of the late games kicking off today. They're looking to hold on to that automatic qualification spot to the round of 16. They don't want the extra games in the playoff round. So for that reason, Owen Hargreaves, an important win for United.
Massive win, in almost in a must-win game. Obviously a lot of pressure, going to go down. There was still some mistakes in there, obviously De Ligt and Onana, we'll get into that in a second, but really good response from the team. But it wasn't vintage, but the second half was a lot better. Amram made some subs and they had a big impact on the game, but again it's Ahmad, it's Bruno, it's Højlund. They're the ones kind of being the highlights for this Manchester United team.
Karen Carney's watching along with us as well. What did they do better in the second half, Karen?
I think it literally is about the substitutes, but I also think the game was far more stretched, and it kind of helped United because they can carry the ball and they're better in transition, I think. But they're the stats, and I mean in the first half they had 3 shots, in the second half they had 14, so there was a big difference. And I think, like I said, the big difference for me was just Ruben Amorim putting on the players. I think Mount came on, made a big difference. I thought then Ahmad had time and space to run, but yeah, overall better second half performance.
Yeah, the substitutes certainly making the difference. We'll bring you more reaction very shortly. League phase, and it was a much better second half performance from Manchester United. Owen, what did they do differently that managed to get them the win tonight?
I don't think they just created much in that first half. I think they had 72% possession, but didn't create anything, didn't really take many shots. And I just thought the second half they were a little bit more aggressive, created more, had a few more shots. And that's all it needs, just be a little bit more positive. When you have that much of the ball, Jules, then you got to create more. And I think the second half they created a lot more, were a little bit more positive. Obviously the changes from Amram had a big impact, but just played a lot better than they did in the first half.
Yeah, at half-time when we were looking at the team sheet and we were looking at who could potentially come off the bench, it is strong, isn't it? He obviously didn't play maybe his strongest 11 tonight with the derby to come on Sunday, Karen. So he had those players he could bring off the bench.
He did, and they made a huge impact. Obviously Højlund with the 2 goals, but I thought Mount was good. Anthony had a part to play in certainly the first goal. Ugarte tidied things up, and Garnacho as well. So it is a strong bench. I still think I'm not sure about Rashford playing in tight pockets, and Ahmad is obviously better when he's got big distances to run at. So I think that's something to be more mindful of. And I was a little bit disappointed with Xerxes in his hold-up play. There was some good moments from him, but he had to turn to his bench. And that was a shift, really. And like I said earlier, 3 shots in the first half, 14 in the second. You definitely want to see more of the second half performance on Sunday, I think.
Yeah, Højlund certainly made the difference in the second half. We can hear from Manchester United's goal scorer now. He's with Danny Javison.
Rasmus, that's a first away.
I had a good opportunity just to sort of, because I'm strong and I had him on this side, so I could push him and just spin him and finish.
Look, it's 2 more goals for you. It's 5 now in the Europa League. I know when we spoke after the Bodo Glimt game, you said that the experience you have in this system from your time at Atalanta has been very helpful. Do you feel like you and the rest of the team, particularly that front 3, are getting more used to what the manager wants you to do? Can you see the results of that on the pitch?
Yeah, yes and no. Obviously, we still need more time. It's still very early days, but again, sorry. Yeah, it's about getting the routines together, and I think it's getting under the skin now, but obviously it still needs a lot of practice and a lot of time. We don't have really a lot of sessions, so we sort of had to train it during the matches. I know it sounds a bit odd, but it's how you learn the best. So yeah, we're doing our best, and I think it's getting better and better.
Well done tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't think it's odd at all, really, because we know that this is going to take time, isn't it? They're learning a new system under the new manager, and he's changing the players around so much whilst he's trying to figure out what his best 11 is. It's one thing we know, that Rasmus Højlund is his best option as a striker down the middle.
Oh, that's for sure. I think he probably knew that before as well, because I think also Gyökeres is a really similar profile, I think, to Højlund in terms of physicality and size. He's a great athlete, Rasmus Højlund, as well. So obviously there's things I think both of them can work on, him and Xerxes. But right now it's Højlund, it's Ahmad, and it's Bruno. They're the ones creating the opportunities for Manchester United.
Let's take a look back at the key moments in this game then. There weren't any in the first half, so let's skip straight to the second half and take a look at the opening goal from Plzen. Karen, what happens here?
It's all Man United's doing, really. I mean, first of all, play positive with your throw-ins, play forward. Okay, you're trying to rebuild, so you throw it back. I think this is a slow ball in to Onana, and then what he needs is he's actually saying, come to my feet. If I just set it onto you, you can bounce it out to the other side and we can get out, because there's a full press on and they're funneling me into you. So just lend it in there, and there it is, they've funneled them in. Bounce it into De Ligt on his right side, you can bounce it out to Mazraoui there, but De Ligt's on his back foot, he doesn't want it, he's not ball playing, he's got his back to goal, and then all of a sudden you're thinking error, and there's
Whose fault is that though then?
Well, it's both of theirs, because De Ligt doesn't really want it, that's why he goes back, but he's got to go to the ball so they can get it out wide to Mazraoui. In the end, Onana plays a poor ball and he's not in his goal. But Amram wants his centre-backs to go in there to receive the ball. De Ligt's not comfortable to receive that ball in the half-turn, so obviously Onana plays a poor ball. But also De Ligt, I'm not sure really wants it. Amram wants him in there. I'm not sure De Ligt wants to be there on the half-turn. It's a difficult position for a centre-back to be in.
I'm looking at that though, and I'm thinking that pass is never on with that many players around.
but
But if the manager tells you to play it, you're gonna do what the manager says, aren't you?
You do that in training all the time. It's a little simple, safe-sided pass and you bounce out. But it is a case of maybe knowing your centre-back and just going, I'm just going to go long. But Onana's one of the best ball-playing goalkeepers. He's better with his feet than some of the centre-backs, Man United, being brutally honest. So he wants to play that, and the manager wants him to. It's literally a safe pass out the other side, but it didn't work. He's just got to go long.
This almost woke Manchester United up, didn't it? And with the substitutes that Ruben Amorim made, Rasmus Højlund came onto the pitch in this second half, and not too long after he got the equaliser.
Yeah, I think Rasmus Højlund came on at 56 minutes and had a huge impact. Anthony was another one of those as well that came on. I love this. What a little nutmeg from Ahmad. He's brilliant. Is that an assist? I think it's half an assist, really.
I'd take that as an assist.
But it's a really good link-up play. Ahmad, he's so creative, he's so clever in there. And Højlund, look, he's fortunate, it just falls to him. But it's the impact of the players coming on. And Ahmad, just getting the ball in those areas, Karen, he's going to affect the game.
That's why I didn't particularly suit him in the first half, when he's got his kind of back to play in tighter areas, in there where he's higher up. And then this is the effect of the goal that Højlund was on about there. He's pinning the defender. And it's a great finish, because the pass into him isn't great, is it, Owen? It's a bit bobbly, but...
It's bobbly, but the pitch didn't look great. But just, again, it's not the manager, that's players' awareness, making decisions. There's a lot of players at the back post. Højlund's got really the defender pinned. Great awareness from Bruno. You know, his football intelligence, even against Force, he scored when he created one. He's the guy that has to make decisions on the pitch, and he did it in such a crucial moment. That was absolutely essential.
Yeah, Karen, you were just trying to explain about Ahmad there. Why didn't we see more of that in the first half?
I think he mentioned it was too slow in the first half, and so you're getting set positions there. You have to break them down a little bit more. Second half is more transitional. They've got more space. And he's higher up and he's facing forward, dribbling. Like, I think that's maybe sometimes why we might see him as a wing-back, because he's facing forward, he can run into spaces. As number 10, when you're tight, it's a different profile of player. He's at his best, like he did for the first goal, where he can jinx past players and put crosses into the box.
It's a good point,
Very
Ken.
different.
I'm not sure Marcus or Garnacho, or they suit kind of... They're receiving the ball with the defender behind them and they're facing their own goal. Actually, they're used to being out wide where they can see everything. So this system, in a way, the way the 10s are featuring probably suits maybe more like a Mount and in a Bruno, where they can kind of, you know, Marcus, they can maybe stay wide and they can see things a little bit easier.
OK, well, let's get the reaction now from the Manchester United captain. Bruno Fernandes is talking to Danny.
Bruno, it's a European win this evening. Performance-wise, what did you make of that from Manchester United?
No, it was a good performance overall. Obviously, I think in the final third we could have kept the ball a little bit more. We needed the man marking from them was difficult to get away. So sometimes it was just more pass and run, try to find the gaps to run in behind them, try to hold the ball up front and then make front row support. I think in the first half we did it a little bit better. In the second half we let the game go a little bit more the way they wanted, a more transition game. But then we dealt with that, and at the end we got to win.
You mentioned that the man marking, the press from the front from Plzen particularly seemed to cause a bit of trouble. Could you talk me through the goal that Plzen scored when Andre plays the ball out, what the manager's asking you as a team to do and why that error may have occurred?
No, obviously we want to play from the back, and then everyone knows we have to make the decision that is the right one. Andre saw that Mata could get on the ball. He missed the pass. They scored a goal, but nothing. That's nothing that we have to focus about, because you have to focus about like what's the best solution that we can do it in the future. But it's not about Andre making the mistake. We don't look at individuals here. When something happen in the wrong side or on the good side is for all the players that are involved, and we have a huge belief in Andre, so I won't say that Andre knows that he made a mistake, because it's a clever guy. So we don't need to tell him, and he's gonna help us many times coming out from the back. So we trust his qualities on the ball. So they made a good pressure, they got the goal, but then the most important thing, we had the resilience and the fighting spirit to come back.
Is that just like an example of, as a squad, you're getting used to a new style of play, so maybe getting used to those kind of situations? Is it taking a little bit of time to do it automatically, I guess?
No. This is something that we've been doing for a long time, and we know when Andre plays or Altai plays, or even Tom, we know they are goalkeepers good on the ball, and they can play. They can do this triangle. So it's something that we normally do. Today didn't work in that one, but in many other occasions works. In the first half we did it many times, and they couldn't get near to our players and to Andre neither. So we trust Andre to keep doing the things he thinks is the best one. Obviously, as I said, it's a mistakes part of football. If mistakes don't happen, goals don't happen.
Winners on the night, although for a while it looked a bit shaky, didn't it? After Onana's error cost us a goal, Mati Vidra scoring for the Czechs, but then 2 goals from the substitute Rasmus Højlund wins us the game and moves us temporarily maybe, but up to 5th in the Europa League group stage, which, Wes and Quinny, is a much better position to be in. So overall, I know it was a bit patchy, but are you happy with the general performance?
Yeah, listen, the point of that tonight was to get 3 points, and we did that. It wasn't great at times, especially the first half. A mistake by Onana gives them a lead, but I thought, after the manager made a few subs, we looked really sharp. Højlund looked really good, and Ahmed looked good again as well. Yeah,
he was very instrumental, wasn't he? Ahmed throughout played well. But Rasmus was the difference when he came on. We have said plenty of times, this team needs more goals. Well, Rasmus, the man tonight.
Well, obviously he scored the goal, but when you look at the change the manager made, he brought energy. Mason Mount came in, Garnacho came in, so you got the pace. You got Urgente came in midfield, and Anthony even did well tonight. So when you see his first goal, I was a little bit surprised, because I normally see Anthony in those situations, he goes backwards. He actually passes forward into Ahmad's stride, and Ahmad did his magic, got the first goal, and then from there on, just played much better the second half. It was more energy, and good goals. The second goal from Rasmus was very good in terms of protecting the ball, good imagination from Bruno, and we could have scored more.
Was that something they would have worked on?
Oh, definitely.
On the training ground, because it was everyone was looking for Bruno to ping it over the top of the defence and maybe get one of the centre backs to head it back into the danger area, but it was nicely worked, wasn't it?
Oh, brilliant, because when you look at the goal, the pitch wasn't the best, so it's actually bobbled to him, and he managed to protect the ball nicely and hit the target, and that's all you want from a striker. Make sure you hit the target every time you get in those positions. But clever play from Bruno, and something they've been working on in training, probably.
Yeah, and that's such a good victory in many ways, because it shows character to come from behind, and after suffering a bit of adversity with the mistake, but then to keep going to find an equaliser and then go on and win it, it shows a good bit of character.
Yeah, character, confidence as well. I'm guessing after the first half the manager would have been on him a little bit. We've got to be quicker, we've got to play higher, we need to get at them a bit more. quicker because we're making it far too easy for them. And we did that the second half. We should have scored more goals as well. You know, maybe Hoyland getting his hat trick. I've seen him having a little word with Ahmed, but I like that.
Yeah.
You know, he's saying that I'm trying to, you know, I'm sprinting to make this easy for you. But that's what you want from the team, and eventually we come out worthy winners there.
Be interesting to see who our fans' player of the match is. The poll is now open on the Manchester United app, so get on there, have your say. Who would you vote for and why, Quinny?
Probably Ahmad. I like Ahmad. Chances created, very positive every time he gets the ball. He created a wonderful chance for Mason Mount. We probably could have scored. We were all wishing that he would have scored tonight, but he had 2 chances tonight, Mason, when he came on, and could have probably had 2 goals himself. But Ahmad, just in terms of his imagination, Mazruri, I thought played well as well, but I like the attacking part of Ahmad.
What would you say, Ben?
Yeah, Mazraoui, I'm going to say for me, you don't really notice him, but he does everything right. You know, he's marking, he's defending in general. You know, he's quick to the ball. He don't let his man, you know, don't give him much time at all, and that's what you want from a defender. And Ahmed definitely, but listen, Hoyland was in the right spot.
Yeah.
And that's what we want from the striker. You know, he's in the right spot. I think he's hungry at the moment for goals. And you could see that today.
I know he only came on 55 minutes, replacing Marcus, who was on a yellow card and had just made a foul actually, so it's probably quite a wise substitution. But still, in the 40 minutes he was on the pitch, Rasmus, he made the difference.
Brilliant, and that's what you want from your strikers, is competition. I'm sure he's been sitting on the bench waiting to come on, and once you, for strikers, like Wish will tell you, any striker, they need confidence, they need the opportunity just to get a goal, and once you get the first goal, everything else opens for them. You can see how he took his second goal with ease, the way he protected the ball, and then just made sure he hit the target. And he probably could have had another one if Ahmad played him in, but we want him to be full of confidence because hopefully he can score more goals for us this season.
You saw Andre Onana sprinting up the pitch to celebrate with the players when they scored. Now, he was probably the most relieved man in the Dusan Stadium when we got level, and then went on to win it, because it was a bad error by him, and he's been so good this season. We just don't want those little errors to creep into his game.
Yeah, and listen, I think they played on that a little bit. They were waiting for that. And Nana just tried to be a bit too cute with it. Sometimes, listen, we all know the way the game's played now, but you just got to kick it, simple as that. And most of the time you're fine, but in that situation, you can sort of see him. He's on his front foot ready, he's waiting just to try and intercept it. And if the ball's not an actual, you know, ping into the person, more likely the attacker's going to intercept it. And you know, we paid the price for it, but hopefully all you can do is just try and learn from it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Onana because there was the mistake against Forest. It was a soft goal he conceded in that game, and then tonight. But we mustn't forget that he's been really good.
Yeah,
won plenty of Player of the Match awards, and he has been very solid throughout the season so far. So maybe it's just a little minor blip in his current form.
I can hear the voice of Roy Keane in my head saying it's his job.
Yeah.
No. He's been brilliant. But again, we look at that, and West will tell you, we can see it happening.
Yeah.
And we just clear your lines.
It was telegraphed. It was so obvious.
No one's gonna.
Yeah, you called it.
West was saying, the boss will never have a good you for clearing your lines. Just clear your lines.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. There's going to be times, obviously, when you play, but you can see their front four, front five, just waiting for us to play it short, and then if your midfielder or defender's not ready to receive it, you're in trouble, and you're playing against good players and they punish you. So let's hope he learns from that today, and if it happens again, we move on, clear your lines, because when we're going forward, we got people who can score goals, but we cannot afford to give away easy goals like that today.
No, certainly couldn't afford to do that at the weekend, say, when we go to City, which will be a much tougher test, you should imagine. Right, let's get the thoughts of our TV commentators. Dave Style was joined by Sammy McElroy.
Well, Sammy, quite the night in the Europa League in the end, but it didn't look like it was going to be a very good Manchester United night for a fair while. Viktoria Plzen had their moments, had a key moment when they took the lead, but Rasmus Højlund has saved the day.
Absolutely. First half was very, very poor. There's no doubt about that, and we always thought the manager might do something. early in the second half if things weren't working well, and unfortunately about after a minute or so in the second half we conceded a shocking goal to give Plzen a 1-0 lead, and then we made some substitutions and second half got a little bit better, there's no doubt about that. I thought Fernandez was very prominent, and Ahmad was very prominent in the second half as well, and we finished up winning the game 2-1, Dave, but it was a struggle. But at the end of the day, the points that matter at this stage, and we're up to 5th place, so that's good.